All right. Good evening. Actually, our show is Korean nighttime, so I always say Korean, during the day. Well, you okay?
Yes, I am.
You ready? Okay. We have a new guest today. She is one of my colleagues, Wanda on my team, and she introduced me to Annette, and she is new from New York, so we kind of familiar with New York now. So. So we want to have her introduce herself since she's new here. So you want to give us a brief describe what who you are, kind of like a minute before we start? Huh?
Not a problem. Hi, my name is Dr. Annette. I'm the CEO for Heavenly Treasures Care Services, where we cater to more so caregivers and also to caregivers and leadership ministry,
Mhm.
if you can understand where that's coming from. And the reason why I'm inspired by this is because my mama, who transitioned of over 4 years ago, she had dementia. And not
Mhm,
only did she had dementia, I was her caregiver. And I
mhm,
learned a lot within the last 4 to 5 years where dealing with her while she was sick after the transition of my dad, who was basically her the one that was really taking care of her. But after he transitioned, I came into play as of her full
mhm,
person. I have learned so much, and I have gotten a passion for this for this road, and I can see that it can take go places, not only for yourself but for others, to help
mhm.
others, to
Right.
let them to understand
Mhm.
there is care for you as a caregiver, as well as you taking care of someone that needs to be taken care of. And I
Mhm,
want to inspire those, because I'm in leadership ministry.
Mhm.
Even in leadership ministry, there are some that are going through the same process, and they don't have anyone that
right.
understanding. They don't have anyone that cares like how we would care for the loved ones on the other side, because they're so caught up with taking care of ministry, doing this, doing that. But it's the same thing. We are serving them and we're helping them. So I
Mhm,
want them to have the same concept and the same understanding that, hey, regardless of what you are,
mhm.
someone needs you.
Right.
And that, as in a whole, will describe who I am. I
Mhm.
am a mother of two. They're grown adults. One is an adult child and one is a teenager. He's turning 18 on Friday. Thank you, Jesus. But otherwise,
So I
than
want
that,
to
the single,
kind of break it down. When we talk about dementia, it's a big umbrella. So do you know what kind of dementia your mother has?
uh,
Break it down
um,
specifically, which kind?
uh, she was the type that she couldn't do anything for herself. She lost her speech. Um,
Mm,
she had a stroke. She lost her speech, so therefore,
So
her
vascular
body,
dementia,
she
I think.
she couldn't do anything. She couldn't,
mhm.
nothing.
Right. Mhm.
So I had to basically do everything for her, make
Right.
her, help her. There came a time that she couldn't walk anymore.
Mhm.
So we like basically had to lift her. And when that
Mhm,
got tiring, I had to, do the best I can
Mhm.
bettering her. And I did all of this at home. So I didn't
mhm.
have her in a nursing home or anything. She was basically at home. So yeah.
Mhm.
Do you ever give her the memory box? That's why we talk about Bobbie, we talk about the memory box. Have you done memory box for her?
Um, what I did was we had pictures set up on her dresser,
Okay.
Mhm.
and every now and then, and especially there was a picture, a big picture of her and my dad.
Mhm.
So she would constantly look at the picture,
Mhm.
and I would say, who, that person right there. I'm you could say that I'm a jolly person. I
Okay.
like make them, get
Mhm.
interactive. So I would say, who's that person right there? I said, is that your husband? Who is my father? And she would look at me and say, you know. So that was one. And then we would sing songs that she knows,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
She's very she's very knowledgeable about scriptures.
Mhm.
Oh,
And one of her scriptures that she would use, or one of the saying that she would use, what a friend we have in Jesus. All our sins and griefs
Sins
to
and
bear.
griefs to bear.
Right? So she will always says that a lot of times. So I will always say it with her. I said, "Come on, mommy, what a friend we have in Jesus. All our sins and grief." And she would say, and she will repeat it. So those are things that I would try to. And plus, too, we have all the family around me and my two sons and my brother, my younger brother. He helped me with her as well.
Okay.
And when we would come into her room, and I would say, "Hi, mommy." Hi. And after I come, and she would laugh and try to be jolly. And then when she see my, I had at that time my youngest son, he was approximately like 10 or 11 years old. He would come into the room and come give her a big hug, and she would just pat him on the shoulder. So we try to bring everyone around her, try to
Right.
give her little things to remind her of, and then one of the things we would say, "Who am I?" Wanted her to see if she could remember my name or who I
Mhm.
am and so forth. So those are the things that we would try to interact her of knowing,
mhm.
to for her to to bring her memory back and
Mhm.
stuff like that. But when we found out that it was coming down to the last stages and she was calling us by her sister
Mhm.
or her brother's name, we not understand. I mean, it affect us, but it didn't affect us because we understood.
Right. You understood.
Yeah, we
Right.
understood what was
Mhm.
happening. So
Right.
I think everybody have not really get a very formal introduction for Bobbie. So Bobbie, why don't you tell us who you are and give us a little bit.
I'm sorry, Bobbie.
No, that's okay.
It's,
Like I used to work with the ombudsman's office as a volunteer. I used to inspect assisted living facilities. That's how I got started. And seeing these people there whose memory was going, it just intrigued me. So I got involved and I started taking care of Alzheimer's patients, not dementia patients, strictly with Alzheimer's to start with. Then as I was telling Stephanie, my mother had a stroke based on a brain tumor.
Mm,
We didn't know the brain tumor was there. And by the time it was diagnosed, it was too late. They diagnosed it in April and she died in June.
wow.
But the idea was that I was determined she was going to know who I was. I would have to drive to Atlanta from Charlotte every weekend because she was at my brother's when she got sick. So we left her there. And she just wouldn't say my name that last time I went down there. She wouldn't say my name. I said, "Well, mommy, I'm not leaving until you say my name." When she finally said, "What are you doing here?" And I said, "I came to see you." "Well, Bobbie, you need to go home." So once she said my name, I was okay. And that was on a Sunday and she died that Wednesday night. So at least she knew who I was for that brief moment. That meant all the world. But the lady I'm with now has what we consider third stage dementia. She's in at that stage where she's very combative,
Mm,
fights, hide stuff, very, when she has moments of clarity, she's very demanding, but she had a position when she was younger, her job, where she supervised. And because she was a supervisor, she expects you to do what she says do.
mhm.
So we've had to work around that in asking her permission so that she will do things for you. Would you please put your coat on? Would you please wash your hands? We have to talk to her in a way that's not condescending, because she then will become really more combative because she's used to being the boss.
Mhm.
So yeah, by her used to being the boss, she expects you to do for her. Like this morning, she did not want to dry off after she took her shower. Now, normally she'll dry herself. And I'm saying, okay, I need you to dry your legs. She wouldn't do it. I said, well, now I need you to sit down so I can dry your legs. She wouldn't sit down. It was just being the boss at that particular time. Finally, she took the towel away from me and decided to dry herself. Okay, but it had to be on her terms. You know, once I told her to sit down, it was like, oh, you can't tell me to sit down, so I'm gonna take the towel and dry myself.
Mhm.
So they have a mind of their own.
Mhm.
They really do. But I love what you said about the caregiver. There's a foundation here in Charlotte called the Frankie May Foundation that's for caregivers. And it's an awesome foundation that they do so much. They provide respite care so that a caregiver can go doctor's appointment or whatever. It's a great foundation.
Mhm. Mhm.
So yeah, I love the fact that these organizations exist
Mhm.
because caregivers, I said, just like that old saying on the airplane, you need to put the mask on first to take care of yourself before you can take care of someone else, because you're no good to anyone else if you're passed out. So we need the caregivers to understand you need to think about yourself too. It's not being selfish, not at all. And some of them think, oh, well, if I take a day off, that's not right. They feel guilty.
Mhm.
And caregivers shouldn't feel guilty.
Mhm.
I mean, I've had to take a day. I was just telling Stephanie, this past Saturday was the 10-year anniversary of my sister's death. We had a celebration at the gravesite. I had the sister of my client come stay with her because I needed that time.
Mhm.
And so everyone needs to understand that caregivers need time too.
Mhm. Can I say something on that area?
Your time, and then
Go ahead.
take a break from Bobbie's suggestion. Have you done that?
Yes, I have done. Like I said, I have to.
What did you do? Yes, what did you do when you take a break?
Well, see, for the 4 years that was in the care of my mom,
Mhm.
at first I thought that I was indispensable. I wanted to be there all the time.
Mhm.
Okay. There came a period that I think it was one day I didn't understand what was happening because I never experienced that side of her.
Mhm.
Because before my mother got sick, she was very strong-minded, strong-willed person.
Mhm.
She's
Yeah.
control of everything. That's
Mhm.
how she is. But then when she have gotten sick, she became calm like a lamb. She didn't wasn't a fighter. She was just peaceful, very, very much peaceful. And I'm telling you, it's God.
Yeah.
But there came a day that she didn't want me to touch her. She didn't want me to do anything to her. And she said, "You're gonna hurt me. Get away from me." Right? I said, "Mommy, I would never hurt you." You know? And it hurt in my heart
Mhm.
at first.
Mhm.
I was like, "What is going on?" Then my older son had to come and for some apparent reason, she drew close to my older son and put her head on on his shoulder. Then that's when I had to realize, you know what? I need to step back from her a little bit.
Yes.
Let her get herself together,
Mhm.
right? Because they're going through that mode,
That's right.
like the one that's closer to them is gonna hurt them. They're gonna
Mhm.
try to do something that's on because in their mind they don't know that with the changes that's going on in their mind, they are confused as if themselves.
That's
It's
right.
like, what's happening to me? What is going on? So they're gonna react it to you as the person that is closer to them.
Mhm.
So when I realized that, I had to stay away for a little bit, go downstairs, read a book, do cooking or whatever, and then came back upstairs when she was like, nothing even happened.
Right.
Mode.
Mhm.
Um, there came a time where I had to take care of some business because I'm a native of Barbados. I was born
Okay.
and we have property there. So I had to take like a few days, a week off to take care of the
Mhm.
business down in my island. So what I would do, I would leave things in order, make sure that her medicine was together, make sure she had food in the house, make sure that things that she needed was at home. And also I had someone to come in
Mhm.
and watch her. Uh, literally like, my second help to take care of her
Mhm.
Mhm.
while I was away, and I set my sons and my brother in order as well, just in case if anything happened. Call me, let me know what's happening, let me know what's going on, so I will tell you what needs to be. But thank God, I would go away for my week. I would do my R&R, honey, relaxation,
Mm-hmm.
go to the beach,
Mm-hmm.
relax, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Not tell you,
Yes.
you do
Yeah.
need it because your mind,
Mm-hmm.
caregiver, if your mind, it's like what you say, if you don't take care of yourself,
Mm-hmm.
who's going to take care of you?
Right.
And I
Mhm.
learned that from my dad as well, because he was going and going, going so much that he didn't take time to take care of himself. And
Mhm.
that morning, he passed away with a massive heart attack
Mhm.
while he was taking care of my mom. Massive
Mhm.
heart attack. So therefore, I had to come in, and my life did a
360.
and I was like, God, what are you putting me into? But I thank God for that He gave me the strategies to how to work this out. It's nothing of my own, but I had to say, oh God.
Amen to that.
And I
Yeah.
had, you know,
It's all
um,
God.
yeah, I had to take some time off of myself
Mhm.
to regroup, to recruit.
Mhm. All caregivers do. All caregivers need that me time. That's what I call it, me time.
And
We need me time.
I didn't feel guilty. It was a week.
Yeah.
I didn't feel
And
guilty.
this is what I was telling Stephanie. You just need me time.
Yeah.
Time for yourself.
Mhm.
Do whatever you need to do, whatever you love. If it means just getting in the car and go for a drive,
Yes.
go sit in the park and watch the ducks. I mean, it may be something simple, but you need that me time in order to clear your brain,
Mhm.
to get yourself back in focus, because being around a person with dementia on a 24-hour day, it's taxing. It
Yeah.
takes its toll on you.
It does.
It does. It takes its toll on you. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, thank you for sharing so much about this information. And just one question I want to ask two of you. So I am assuming you both are the single lady, right? Just
I am.
I am as well. I'm not married.
Okay, just want to see it's just scenario because it's not applied to you. So just a scenario if your spouse has dementia, what would you do? Just a scenario. It's not applied to you.
You do the same thing I was doing for my mother. I mean, spouse, child, mother, sibling. I mentioned to you, I mean, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
A caregiver is a caregiver.
Mhm.
And I told you, on my dad's side, it was my grandmother, and on my mom's side, it was her sister, my aunt. So I've had it on both sides of the family, but it doesn't stop. If I was married, I'm sure it would be the same situation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I totally agree. It doesn't matter who is sick. If you're there available, that's
Mhm.
where you step in and do what we got to do. If it's a
Right.
sibling, if it's a child, if it's your
Mhm.
parents, or even a best friend, and they
Yeah.
don't have anyone.
Mhm.
I'm
Hey,
more specifically
that's
asking
from the
person is,
heart.
will you put them in a home or you gonna taking care of him yourself?
Repeat that,
I
please.
didn't get that either. Yeah.
Will you be taking him yourself or you will put him in a home? Which way you prefer?
I would not try to put a loved one, in a home or facility unless it was absolutely necessary. If it got to the point where I couldn't handle it anymore. And like I said, I'm the caregiver for this lady, and it's at the point where the family's going to have to make a decision
Right.
because of her combativeness. Even when I take her to daycare, they have already said that if she continues to fight and bite and stuff that she's been doing, they're going to have to release her. So she may have to go into a facility maybe in the next few months. But no, they want to keep her at home as long as they can. That's why they hired me. And it's the same thing with the relative. You want to keep them with you as long as you can, because the familiar surroundings helps them.
Right.
And that's right. Because when they're at home in their surroundings, they're more comfortable because
Mhm.
they're in their space. But if I notice that if you take a patient out of their comfort zone and put them into a place that they don't know of, they get a little bit, different.
Yeah, it affects their memory. It really does. And it affects their whole personality.
Mhm,
because it's a strange place that they have to now become accustomed to.
mhm.
And as I said, I used to inspect the assisted living facilities, and I would see it all the time, and I'd feel so bad for some of them, because some of them, the relative would put them there and never come back to see them.
Never.
Never come back. You can look at the visitor log and you'd never see a relative that signed in for that family member.
I was working in a nursing home I did my intern in a nursing home, and they had this lady there, and my coworkers say to me, her family they don't even see her family. And I felt so saddened. You know, the mother that's sick and she needs someone. And, you know, one day I had to sit with her and just rub her hand, you know, to let her know that someone cares, someone understands,
Right.
you know, because it's much. For me, I could have put my mama in the nursing home, but I said, no, that's my mother.
Yeah.
She took care of me.
Mhm.
So now it's my turnaround time
That's
to
right.
take care of her.
Mhm.
To
Right.
show her that I
So
appreciate
we're gonna see you guys next time. Thank you, everyone. So we'll see you at part 2. You have a good day.
All right. You have a good day too. It was nice meeting you,
Well,
Annette.
nice meeting you. Take care.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, Bobbie.
Bye-bye.
Nice to meet you. Mhm.